3D land is cartoon land. 3D land is cartoon land. It's really easy. It's really easy. It's a cartoon. You're in a cartoon, really, for real. It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. You might say, well, how is it a cartoon? All right. So you're 60 or 70% water. You got bones. You got blood. And you're made from clay. You came from the dirt. So how can a water vessel, a water creature, walk around? How can a water creature walk around? Really? Your bones, I know the bones keep you upright, but how can a water creature walk around? You're a water vessel. You're a vessel. You're a water vessel. You're walking around, you're mostly water. And your bones. When you see a bone on the side of the road, it's just a bone, right? Why does God animate us? Why does God animate the human? He can actually take some bones over here, put some flesh on it, breathe into it, and animate a creature. You're an animated creature. You're animated by the Spirit, by God. You're animated. And if you look at enough people, and if you pay attention to them, most people act like they're cartoon characters. They're cartoons. Most of your actors, I mean, look at Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. They're cartoon characters. It's a cartoon. Who really cares? He married her. They both were abusive. They need to just separate, split their money, and go their separate ways. She shouldn't get everything from him if he's look, the only reason he's doing that, really, when you love a woman, you don't not love them. If you love a woman, you always love a woman. They might make you mad, and they might make you want to get away from them, and you might hate everything that they do, but you still love her. If you really love somebody, you never stop loving them. You just feel sorry for them that they're stuck in cartoon land, stuck in insecure. You know, most of what we're seeing there is Amber Heard she's worried about her future and her image and her lifestyle, and that's why she's trying to date all the rich guys. It's all about ease. A cartoon character shouldn't have ease. You gotta have, the reason you're down here in this 3D land is cartoon. The reason you're in this 3D land, you need resistance. Your muscles, you need resistance. Your mind, your spirit, your soul, your body, you need some resistance. It's cartoon. Half the people listening to me today and 10 years from now, if this goes, I might just download this and convert it to audio. It's cartoon. Half the people listening to me would say, I should be dead already. A car wreck, food poisoning, infection. You should be dead, but you're not, because it's a cartoon. It's appointed unto man once to die, and after that the judgment. So what's the purpose of the cartoon? It's for your heart. The whole purpose of this cartoon, from the spirit realm, this is cartoon land. I promise you it is. Once you see once you see an ET, an extraterrestrial entity, a light creature, once you see a light that comes from somewhere beyond 3D, you wake up and say, wait a minute, how did that appear out of nowhere? And how come it dematerialized? Once you see past 3D, 3D becomes cartoon. It's a cartoon. I can go over there and cut down that tree. I can go over there and knock down that sign. I can go over there and dig a hole in the ground. Think about what I'm saying. It's not set in stone, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's malleable. If I pull over on the side of the road, get my shovel and go dig in the ground, that means it's changeable, it's malleable. It's cartoon land. Anything that's solid and unchangeable is the real deal. So what's the real deal? Your heart. It's not your clay body. It's not the material realm. It's not the natural world. That's changeable. If I can go over there and cut that tree down, it's changeable. If I can plant a seed, it's changeable. If I can dig in the ground, it's changeable. If I can take a sawzall and cut down that piece of that sign with a metal sawzall, it's changeable. Or if I have to take a torch, a acetylene torch, and cut it, it's changeable. Or a bulldozer. This is changeable. Anything changeable is temporary. It's cartoon. It's a cartoon. Really, it really is. But anything that's not changeable is not a cartoon. So what is not changeable? Absolute truth. You can't change the absolute truth. You can try, but you're just hurting yourself. Why not adapt to the truth? You can't change the universal principles. Gravity. What is gravity? Well, gravity is because you're in the flesh. Sin. The reason the sky is blue because it's blue letter law, and you're a flesh creature. You're under law. The reason gravity, the gravity of the matter, the grave, is because you're going back to the grave because of sin. The reason there's gravity is because of sin. You won't need gravity when in your glorified body. It's a cartoon, people. Think about this. Those tires on that car, my car, anybody's car, they're not glued. They're just held together by pressure. Think about what I'm telling you. The reason the air stays in the tire is pressure. There's no glue. It's pressure. In the wintertime, your tire starts to go flat. In the summertime, pressure increases. What's holding the stuff together? Pressure. Press. You're being pressed. God is, look, what do you do when you press something? You take, let's say you press some garlic. You take and press the garlic. What are you doing? You're squeezing out the good stuff. When you're a kid, you take the Play-Doh and you press it through and you make a copy. What are you in? You're in a press. You're being pressed. Your character's being changed and pressed and turned and cut. Your character, your heart, your mind, your soul, the real stuff is the unseen stuff. The real deal is your heart. You can't see it. I'm not talking about your physical heart. I'm talking about your heart, your core being, who you are. Look at that. Look at that. It's cartoon land. Look at that rusty old, raggedy old trailer. It's all cartoon land. Even the law is cartoon land. Some policeman comes up with his uniform, says, "I'm the law. I got blue letter law on. I got this blue car, this blue light chasing you down." Well, who ordained you? The government. Who ordained the government? The judges and the lawyers, and who ordained them? Who wrote the law? Man. How come this law's better than the law over here in this other country? You see what I'm saying? It's all ridiculous. Do I like the United States law? Yeah. Is it based on the Bible? Yeah. God wrote the Bible. God gave the law and He gave grace. There's grace encoded in the law in the USA. You don't see grace in China, right? Every man's born with certain rights, you know. So while you're in cartoon land, the purpose of the law, the letter of the law, and the purpose of grace, and the purpose of face-to-face interaction, and the purpose of paying your power bill and your light bill and your house bill is to push out the baby. That you no longer focus on the outside, but the inside. The outside is temporary. So let's say Amber Heard finally wakes up to what she's doing. Let's say she wakes up. I'm pretty sure Johnny Depp's already awake to it. It's all act. He probably knows that the lawyers are actors. He knows that they're acting. He knows it's all act. It's all cartoon people, especially the Gentiles. Under Israel, the economy of Israel, God spoke to the priest class, and they pretty much said God said go here, go here, go here, and the kings follow God. But it's still cartoon land down here. God is teaching you how to trust God, how to walk in faith, how to get you a new heart, a new mind, a new spirit, how to be born again. God is teaching you some object lessons for your heart by the objects that hit you. The word object actually means against throw. So everything in front of you is being thrown at you, but you're really not in a solid, permanent situation. Your heart is, your mind is, your character is, but your character is even changing. Hopefully you're becoming a better person. The way you used to think is not who you think now. It's cartoon land. The reason you don't really believe it's cartoon land is because you haven't cut the noise off. And it takes about 10 years to see it. You got to cut the music off. You got to cut the TV off. You got to cut the noise off. You got to cut the news off, the media. And if some people can step back. Now, once you see through it, somebody told me one time, I says, why are you watching that? You know it's fake. She says, I know, but I can still watch it. She could see through it. It's cartoon land. I mean, why do you think people go do plastic surgery? Plastic surgery? It's cartoon land. It's cartoon land. It's all fake. Why do more women do plastic surgery than the men? Because they're trying to find a man. They want to look good so they can secure. Because it's rough. I have to admit it's a rough. I think for the women it's harder. It's a harder reality to live in. But if she trusted God and rested in God and stayed in God's will, her life would be smoother. But most of the trouble it's the grace of God. This is all by the grace of God. Most of the trouble we create for ourselves most of the trouble that hits us is trouble we create for ourselves. God always makes a way of escape. The Bible says God always makes a way of escape for those who trust Him, His saints, who are trusted in Him. Why? How does God make a way of escape? Because outside of cartoon land is all possibilities. In the spirit, everything's possible. Miracles, people raising from the dead, people living 1,000 years. See, why? Think about this. Think about this, really. They say the Mediterranean diet is the most healthy diet. Why? Why would that be? Look where Israel was. Look where the center of this thing is. I started buying cheese. If you've never had blue cheese, you got to try it. It tastes pretty good. It's got a lot of protein. It's got a lot of protein. It's keto friendly. It's keto friendly. So if you get rid of the sugar, your pain's going to go away. If you do some fasting, your pain's going to go away. I don't care if you believe me or not. It's the truth. If you don't want to believe it, it's on you. Now, I came down here yesterday at a different time. I was behind that very car. Today, I come here at a different time. I'm behind that very car. Now, that car was the same kind of car I had. My last car, that was the same kind of car I had. Why would I see the same car 2 days in a row? And I didn't come here at the same exact time. Maybe an hour later. I think it was an hour later. It's a reflection. It's an object lesson. There's something going on. See, everything that you do is a copy. So what I did last year or year before, whenever I had that car, I'm probably doing the same thing I did when I had that car. When it comes to like doing remodels and stuff that's going on in the 3D cartoon. Similar patterns, you know. People showing up or whatever. I'm not going backwards. But those little reflections try to get you to go backwards. To think like the old. See, the devil, he's spirit bent. He's outside of time. He's outside of cartoon. And so he'll put stuff in your, sometimes it's hard to discern, is it God or is it the devil? Because the devil's getting slick. But you know if it brings peace, it's from God. That which is from above is first peaceable, easily entreatable, without hypocrisy. That which is from the devil, there's no peace. He might try to give it some kind of peace. But that which is from the devil is hypocrisy. It's double-minded. It's not truth. It's not easily entreatable, you know. I can't quote the verse by heart, but that which is from above is peaceable, easily entreatable, without hypocrisy. It's something to that effect. I'll post the verse later. But you're animated. And if you're animated, that means you're a cartoon. That's why they call it animation. There's one cartoon called Funimation. It's an animate. And why does the human make animated cartoons? Why does the human make animated movies? Because he's animated. Everything that you do is being done to you. If you wash clothes, because you're being washed. If you send a fax machine or a copy, you go make a copy on a copy machine because you're a copy. Everything that you do in the 3D is being done to you in the 5D, in the spiritual, the unseen. Today, I paid attention to what I was thinking yesterday and at lunch and all. Everything that I was thinking yesterday reflected back today. If I go over here and get me some paint and a canvas and I paint a picture with somebody with blue hair or red hair or green hair, they will actually show up in the hologram. That happened to me. I was trying to learn how to paint, so I painted this picture of this woman and painted the hair and tried to do it, and then I changed it to blue hair. Went to work the next day. Some lady comes in that works there with her hair. She had dyed her hair blue. So I did the experiment again with some streaks. Next day, somebody comes in with streaks in their hair. Nobody knew I was painting. Nobody knew I was learning to paint at that time. And nobody knew what I was painting. And if these people, why would they, if they knew it, All I can tell you is it's a cartoon. If I tell you too much, you'll blow a head gasket. Your mind will short circuit. If I tell you really what this place is, I mean, telling you it's a cartoon is bad enough, but it's really, it's just all projections. It's everything in front of you is a projection. Like the project is jet to throw. It's a jet. It's a projectile. Project is a projectile. It's projecting out. Choom, choom, choom. It's a projection, like going and watching a movie with a projection. Your thoughts, okay, so when you really get good at meditation, let me tell you what it is. So when you really get good at meditation, your thoughts are kind of like you're leaving 3D, and it's like if you look at an animal with a horn. An animal with a horn. So the horn projects out. So when let's say there's two animals with horns fighting each other. So the horn projects out past their body. So your mind projects out past your body. And so that projection, just like on a boat. So you know that front piece on the boat, so people back here on the boat in the middle here, and you're standing up here on the front, and you're able to see further what's in front of you. And what you see comes before what they see. They're back here in the cab or in the cabin or whatever. You're projecting out. You see it before they see it. And you turn around and say, hey, there's an island on the way. And they say, oh, let's go look. So they run out there and look. Same way with your thoughts. Your mind projects outside of 3D, and you can actually see what's going to happen tomorrow before it even happens, if you stay in a contemplation state. And it's already happening. The funny part is, even if you see what's going to happen tomorrow before it happens in your mind, and I'm not talking about seeing the image necessarily, but you just think it. If a thought just comes to your mind, it's not a coincidence. You're actually seeing in series, like a TV series, you can actually quantum connect with a TV series. Let's say you watch the Jessica Jones series. You could watch it today, next year, last year, whatever. And you watch the series every day. Everything that's going on in that series, you'll actually see it projecting out in front of you. So, but what's happening is, so you'll go through your day and you go home and you watch the series, season 1, episode 1, it'll show up. You go to work the next day, season 1, episode 2, it shows up. You're outside of time. It's all this, and the funny part is, you can do that 10 years from now, and the same thing repeats. It's already been. It's already been. What has been shall be. What shall be has been. If you can think it, it already has been, and it's going to happen. Why do you think there's a movie called Escape New York? And then during the COVID thing, everybody's trying to escape New York. They were trying to lock down New York. Now think about that. It's for real. This is a cartoon land. I'm telling you. It's a cartoon. It really is just a reflection. You're writing, okay, so you're writing with your thoughts, and it's appearing down here in this 3D book. You're writing with your thoughts in this 3D book, for real.